Change is always difficult, no matter if it is changing the way you eat or changing where you sit normally in a room. Welcome everybody to Fit Docs, where we are going to be discussing changing habits. And if you watch us regularly, two things. First of all, you know that's my spot. This is Keith's spot. This is very uncomfortable.
That's my mug.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's very uncomfortable for me to have in front of me. But anyway, we wanted to kind of mix things up a little bit, just to kind of emphasize that changing our habits, we are habitual creatures. It's hard to change things. This is all, if you also follow us, you know that we start with Keith's progress report on as he moves to his new weight loss goal. So
right. So if you were with us last week, you know that we're right in the midst of the holiday season. So I decided that it was just going to be too difficult to really focus on losing. So I'm trying to just maintain what I had lost. So today I was 170.4. Last week I was 170.2. So only a 0.2 difference there. And I've actually maintained my 5-pound weight loss that I started with. So that's good. We'll get through the holiday season here. And we'll try some strategies to kind of get me going and push down to that new goal of 155.
Right. So this is a new goal. So Keith originally had lost 80 pounds following a mostly ketogenic diet, starting with low carb and then getting into keto, and that required us to change a lot of things in our household. And I'm sure it has for you guys if you have made this switch as well. Three areas that we wanted to identify are how the frequency of eating has changed, how our food choices have obviously changed, and how some behaviors have changed. So frequency, one of the biggest things I would say that has been very helpful is that we do not eat late at night.
Right, and late at night, I think that late night snacking or late night eating, that is really a habit. I mean, that was always a habit with me. That was something that was hard to change when I started doing, and I actually started with your 0, 1, 2, 3 plan.
Right, which is in our starter kit, so which you can get.
Right, but that was, I think that is more of a habit, where you just feel like it's nighttime, you're a little bored, and you go to the fridge.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So giving up late night snacking or stopping eating 3 hours before bed is really what we adhere to, and skipping breakfast. For me, that was a big habit change.
Right. You were a breakfast eater.
Yeah. You never were.
No. So
that wasn't maybe a hard habit for you to change. For me, that was I would get up in the morning. That would be the first thing I would do. I bought into the belief that it stirred up it boosted my metabolism.
Yep.
I now know that is not the case, but that was a habit I had to get over. And also, as far as meal frequency, 2 meals a day is often what we'll do. You'll do 1 meal a day sometimes.
Yeah, it's kind of 2 meals a day is probably our standard, and I've been doing 1 meal a day a number of days a week too. So that meal frequency has definitely changed, from what it was before.
Right, and the traditional way of eating, we were taught that you eat 3 meals a day and then you have at least 2 meals or 2 snacks in between there. So that constant eating, of course, now that we know that there's more of a hormonal regulation that's for weight loss, that means that we're keeping our insulin high all day long and we're never in fat burning mode.
How are you going to lose weight eating 6 small meals a day?
Yeah, but yet we all bought into it.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, and as far as food choices, well, you've been married to me for 25 years. My favorite food was ice cream. Yes, I mean I could eat ice cream every single night, and many nights of our married life, I did.
I'm pretty sure you did, yeah. Yeah.
Now, there's no ice cream in the house. It actually doesn't even really appeal to me. And ice cream, I mean, I would just lump that into desserts. We really don't do dessert anymore.
No. And you said that there was no ice cream in the house. We had a birthday party, 6, 7 months ago? And we had some ice cream down in the freezer, and it was in the freezer. We threw it out.
Yeah.
It stayed there. It didn't tempt us. It didn't.
That was unbelievable for me.
Yeah. You knew it was down there.
I did.
Yeah.
Now, if we do anything that's ice cream related, we'll do a very high quality yogurt, like full fat yogurt with some
blueberries
berries
or something.
Yeah. for you.
Well, I had a real habit of, I play hockey on Tuesday night, and I would come home a little bit later on Tuesday night, and I would always stop into Taco Bell, and because I had to replenish, all that
Your glycogen,
glycogen
yeah.
that I had wasted, right? And I would get, eat, taco salad or tacos or both, usually both, and they had lettuce in them, so they were healthy, but yeah, so that was a habit I had to certainly stop. And I still, if I'm coming home from hockey, I drive by Taco Bell.
Yeah.
It's still kind of there in my brain.
Yeah. Well, and it's not just tacos for you. Like the pizza guy, we would always kid that the pizza guy knew he had you on caller ID or whatever.
Well, like all the pizza guys. I mean, no matter if it was Domino's, Pizza Hut, or Papa John's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They all knew us because we had Pizza Friday and then Pizza Monday and then sometimes Pizza Wednesday and.
Yeah. And I wasn't much of a pizza person. Now we still do pizza quite often, but we do like keto pizza, which we have a recipe for that.
Really
That's
good.
really good.
Really good.
So it has helped to take away that habit. But for me, the joy of Pizza Fridays was that I didn't have to cook. And I will say that the biggest behavior that needs to change is that you will do a lot more preparation of food at home.
Right. And you really have to because you have control of what's going in your food.
Yeah.
And you do not have that at all in a restaurant. They can tell you, oh, it's low carb, but, it could have sugar in it.
Right.
Or whatever else. Yeah.
Yeah. And the last thing I would say is the mindfulness of eating.
Right.
Changing that behavior of just mindlessly eating. You walk past a candy dish and you just pick up a little piece of candy, right? Because it only has 30 calories, but that 30 calories is not what's important. It's the 6 or 7 grams of sugar that are causing the insulin spike. I mean, we did that. What did 1 tablespoon of sugar do to our blood sugar?
Yep.
And when we did that, for me, I started in my coffee. Within an hour, my blood sugar went up 53 milligrams.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just a tablespoon, which is 3 teaspoons. I mean,
Right,
a lot
which
of
is
people,
a little piece of candy.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. And the other thing with the mindfulness is that, for me, when I get up in the morning now, I know what my day of eating is going to be ahead of time.
Yeah.
I know what I'm having for dinner. I know what I'm having for lunch, if I'm having lunch that day. If maybe it's a day I'm having breakfast. I have a business breakfast meeting, a couple times a month. So that's going to change what I have for lunch and dinner. But I already know that ahead of time. So there's no kind of random driving down the road and oh, geez, I'm hungry, I didn't have lunch, and you better pull into Burger King or whatever, right?
Right.
I know it ahead of time, and I'm been doing this long enough that I know how much and what, if we're having a certain thing for dinner, I know that at lunch, I should have this because it complements that calorie-wise and macronutrient-wise and everything.
Yeah.
So that's definitely changed.
Yeah. So those are just some things that we have noticed, some habits that we have changed, and I would say certainly for the better. I think life is so much more fun now that we've gotten rid of those habits. But we want to hear from you guys. What habits did you used to have when you had a high-carb lifestyle that you have abandoned for keto or for low carb, and how has that experience been? So let us know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. We will be back next week with a progress report, and I will be sitting over there, and Keith will be sitting here.
And I want everybody to notice that I broke the habit of wearing Under Armour today.
Oh, there we go. It's all working together.
Oh yeah, it's
All
coming
right.
together.
Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.